Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob from Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I have a little review impressions video I'd like to do with the CJRB Pyrite. And this is the CJRB Pyrite in steel handles with their proprietary powder steel in a button lock. This is sort of a new version that has come out and become very popular. As you can see, it's a deep carry clip with recessed screws. Definitely very nice. It comes up a bit, so have a lot of nice clearance. It's a thumb stud, so it's a thumb stud deployment, which is very nice. But it's a button lock, and the button lock action is just phenomenal. I really like the button lock. So really great button lock. And this uses their proprietary steel, which is the ARRP M9. Can you see that? ARRP, let's see if we can get that in there. ARRP M9. That's their proprietary steel. This is a flat grind, as you can see, all the way up. Very nice edge. Holds a really good edge. This, I believe that steel would be comparable to, any other, kind of a budget steel, but it's a powder steel, so it's obviously going to have some benefits and some wonderful things that you're going to get out of that. These are, T8 here, and these are T6s over here, T6s. So, that is what what you're going to get for a $50 budget knife. But man, what you get for $50, this is fantastic. It's a great deal. And I know they have a really high-end version that Artisan Cutlery, because CJRB is part of Artisan Cutlery, and Artisan Cutlery sells a really nice version of this. Oops, sorry, I just hit the camera and knocked everything out of place. CJRB is part of Artisan Cutlery, and they also have a really nice version of this that's titanium handle with micarta inlay, and I believe the steel is either S35VN or 20 CV, but really nice version. Certainly more expensive, but from what I've heard, everybody who has it, they highly recommend it. But this, for the budget, this is great. This is great. If you're looking for a gift, an inexpensive gift to give someone who may not feel comfortable working maybe a liner lock or a frame lock, or some of the other types of locks, a compression lock, a back lock, all the different ones that are out there, button lock is very friendly. I mean, it works really well for cutting boxes, cutting envelopes, and just being a basic knife. And for $50, I don't think you can go wrong. The lanyard's not been prioritized, so it's definitely a deep carry clip. You can see that. So it's going to be very discreet, and that's really nice. I like this knife. I like how it works. Very fidgety, very friendly, very fun. So this is something I would definitely recommend to lots of folks, and to you all. It's definitely going to be in my highly recommended budget knives. I can't speak enough about it. When it locks up, it's solid. No rock play. The detent comes in really nicely, as you can see. Kind of goes in, locks in really in place, and holds it nicely. Great knife. Great knife. So let's go ahead and do some measurements and what have you. All right, so as you can see on this one, these are inches, so this is definitely going to be over 4 inches in handle, but I have a ruler so we can get some actual measurements on the handle. All right, so the handle here is going to be right at maybe 4 1/4 inches, so that would be the handle. Let's look at the blade. The blade's going to be just over 3 1/4 inches if you go from the tip to the handle. Now, if we're going to do cutting edge, we're looking at under 3 inches. Now, depending on your state and your state laws, some places 3 inches is from the tip to the handle. Some places it's the cutting edge, so you need to be aware of your state laws and what have you. But this would be one of those that could or could not be maybe used in one of those states. Anyways, flat grind, really nice all the way up. Enjoy that. Let's go ahead and take a weight on this knife and see how much it weighs. Excuse me. Might need to get a drink. All right, so ounces, let's see. All right, 3.76 ounces. Not bad, considering it's a steel handle. And you can see that there's some good milling done inside. Definitely cut out and milled out quite a bit of the steel on both sides. Definitely took some of the weight out, so it's not super heavy. That's nice. So I do enjoy that. Let's go ahead and do a quick measurement of the blade stock. See how thick that is, okay? All right, yeah, we're at 0, so here we go. All right, so it's just barely above an inch, so 0.109 inches, so maybe 0.11 inches, so that's pretty thin. You can see that. That's definitely a thin blade stock here for sure, but makes it a nice slicer knife. Comes down to a fairly thin edge. I mean, it's not super thin, but it'll slice. It'll definitely get the job done. So I do like that. And as you can see, that button lock is really nice, and the standoffs are also kind of silver as well, if you will, polished. You know, it's not well, coated, PVD coated. I believe this is PVD coated or Cerakoted, I'm not sure, but I like that. It looks like an accent, if you will, kind of silver on the black, so that's kind of nice. Definitely really cool. And you can see here's the blade. Get a little close-up of the blade and everything. Get a nice look at that. And there's the butt lock, right? And here we have the clip. You can definitely see the pivot on the other side as well, and the other part of the blade right there. You can see inside, which is nice. And then look at the back where the button lock comes down to drop. Alright, so that's nice. Nice little knife. We can do a little comparison size to other knives. So typically people compare it to, like, oops, let's go ahead and try that again, the Benchmade Bug Out. And you can see it's kind of close, fairly close, maybe just a slight bit shorter, you know, but fairly close. And then we have the Pair 3 by Spyderco in the paramilitary line, and that is really close as well. So, you know, fairly close in size. Definitely a Spyderco would definitely have a shorter cutting length, for sure, and Benchmade would definitely have a longer cutting length, so you can definitely see that. And then we have the Paramilitary 2, which is much larger. So there's a comparison, probably closer to the Paramilitary 3 or Para 3. So, you know, I would consider this, you know, not super compact, but not super big. I mean, it's not big for sure. I can get full 4 fingers on here. I have medium to large hands. It's large and width-wise, medium and length-wise. So I can get 4 fingers on there. It's right at the edge. You can see that. So I figure maybe a large to extra large hands, you could probably get on there. Extra large to, you know, you're probably going to be at that point where your finger's going to rest right at that little point right there. It's going to come over the edge like that. Now, I can choke up on this, as you can see. Definitely can choke up with the jimping, so that does allow for that. Jimping up here allows for a choke up to do maybe a sort of a precision cut, if you will. So that's nice. And then you definitely have more room. So that's nice. The action is great. The feel of the blade is great. I mean, it's a very generic design, but it's a design done well. You know, it's like the Benchmade. You know, there's knives that, like Ray Laconico has a design aesthetics that I really enjoy. It's very similar to a lot of his knives, and you can look at it and say, oh, that's Ray Laconico. But this aesthetic is just such a useful aesthetic. It's very, just, I don't know, very nice the way they did it. It's kind of a spin-off of something that it seems like most everybody has done, but this is just different, and it's nice. So I really enjoy the knife, and I'm going to recommend this. This is definitely going to be one of my recommended budget knives, so definitely think this is something you can consider there. Really enjoy this knife, and something that I will continue to carry and beat up on. So if you have any questions about the knife or things you'd like me to maybe go into details on, please let me know. If you have any, you know, in the comments, feel free to you know, ask the questions there or post things there. Also, if you like this video and if you found it of value, entertaining, or just interesting, would you consider subscribing? I sure would appreciate it. And then maybe hitting the like button. That really does help me and helps me to know if I should continue to put out content like this. I'm new to this whole YouTube video thing, and I did it as, you know, the encouragement of my son and friends, and so I'm trying to give you my spin on knives and what I look for and what I enjoy. And these are some of the things that I enjoy and why I like a knife. You know, every knife I have, I want to use and I want to be able to carry. So I don't buy knives just because, you know, other people said I should buy a knife. I look at a knife, do I like the way it looks? Then I'll consider it. And if I like the way it looks, then I'll give it a try. And if it, you know, works well, then I'm going to recommend this knife for sure. But that's my take on it. So if you like that and you've stayed this long, maybe consider subscribing over on Instagram to my account over there as well. That's Robs_nerdy_knives over on Instagram, Robs_nerdy_knives. I'd appreciate that as well. Well, you guys have a great day and a great week. Thanks. Bye.